Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Soulfullpreneur Talk Radio with your hosts Rachel Archelaus and Megan Crandlemire. Merging spirituality and business on the Enlightenment Evolution Network.
Hi everyone, it's Megan Crandlemire here. You're listening to Soulfullpreneur Talk Radio, and I am with my co-host Rachel Archelaus.
Hello.
And it is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, and we are so happy you are joining us today. If you are listening live and you would like to call in, our number is 347-308-8788. And if you would like to ask a question or get a reading today, just press 1, and that will raise your hand in our dashboard. And also, we have a website, just to fill you in on that, soulfullpreneur.com, and full is spelled with 2 L's. And you can also find us on Facebook if you search for Soulfullpreneur. So we'd love to see you there, and we chat with our community. And so you can also find archived shows on iTunes and also YouTube, in addition to the Blog Talk Radio platform. So check us out on iTunes. So we are part of the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and this is a network for all things metaphysical, and we have a fabulous team of radio show hosts. And they have a Facebook page. If you search on Enlightenment Evolution Network in Facebook, you'll find that. And we also have our shows are all archived under YouTube on the network Enlightenment. So you can find us there as well as on our own YouTube channel. And so just to let you know about other shows that are coming up, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we have the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with Rob Gauthier. And Rob is the person that started this network. And he hosts a being named Treb, who takes callers' questions, and he also has special guests. And you can learn more about that show on trebchanneling.com.
Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific is Philip Malika's Consciousness Evolution Hour. And he talks about a wide range of metaphysical topics from the perspective of the fifth dimension. And you can find out more about Philip and join him in conversation even in the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group on Facebook, which is a fabulous group for connecting. And you can also find him on YouTube.
Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel, and she explores our soul's expansion through our human experiences on Earth.
And on her new day and time, Victoria Vive Swang's Earth Sky People is now on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Her show is all about being a bridge between heaven and earth, and they talk about living in oneness with one another, Mother Earth, and with life beyond Earth.
And then Saturday nights at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, we have a new show called Disclosure Now, and that's hosted with the Pied Piper and Texas Rebel. And they talk about all sorts of interesting topics like conspiracy theories and government cover-ups. So I think that the late night programming time is awesome for that. So check that one out.
And Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific is the Resonance Intention, hosted by Soul and Neil Gar. And yeah, that show just started and it's taken off.
Awesome. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have About Oneness with Karen Newman, and her show focuses on celebrating the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet, our realization of oneness and unconditional love. And Karen's an author and integrated channel and intuitive, so check out her show.
And finally, we have Heart to Heart Talk Radio with Daniel Scranton, which is Mondays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And Daniel Scranton has lots of wonderful guests on his show, and they talk about the shift, ETs, global events, channeling, energy work, toning and sound healing, and all things metaphysical. Get in on those high-frequency discussions by calling in. And, yeah, get Daniel's good vibes. He is a channel, a Reiki master, and a sound healer.
Terrific. And any opinions expressed on Soulfullpreneur Radio by us, the hosts, or our guests does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. We are very happy to say that we have a lovely guest today, and she'll be on with us in a few minutes. Alexandra Dennis is with us today, and she is an author, and she is an angel intuitive, and she is offering our listeners that are listening live today like mini readings. If you are interested in that, she will be happy to answer any questions on a spiritual subject, and she's willing to draw a card from an angel card deck and share some guidance that the angels share with her today. So if you're interested in that, call us at 347-308-8788. But Rachel, before we bring Alexandra on, I know that I don't have too much experience with like the angel cards. How about you? Do you use those much in your work?
I don't have angel cards. No, I actually don't have any cards, but I used to have one deck, which I used right after I left my husband, and it did provide a lot of comfort. You know, it was really cool. I really did feel like I was interacting with angels when I was pulling cards, and it was almost like, you know, I could hear them talking to me through the cards. But that's really my only experience with them. We have a funny story, though. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we do have a funny story. When Rachel and I met almost 2 years ago or so, we had met for coffee at a Panera Bread in the area, and we sat outside. It was a beautiful day, and we sat outside for a couple hours just talking, and towards the end of our visit, I noticed that there was a like a purse. It was a tote bag. It was a clear plastic kind of tote bag left on a chair where some ladies had been sitting having breakfast. And so we grabbed the bag and we walked in with it. We wanted to give it to a manager. And while we were waiting for someone, Rachel had just kind of looked into the bag just to see if there was something identifiable in there that maybe we could find the person. And she noticed that there were Sonia Choquette cards in there. And I didn't know even who Sonia Choquette was, because this was kind of early on my spiritual journey. And so Rachel let me know who she is, and she's really internationally known medium and psychic, and she does amazing work. And the funny part is, 6 months later, Rachel and I met Sonia Choquette here in Newtown, Connecticut, and had our picture taken with her, and she hosted a small event here in Newtown. And so, boy, things move fast in the spiritual world, Rachel, I have to say. We went from me not knowing who she was to meeting this famous person together a few months later.
Yeah, that was incredible. And it's funny, you know, we're leaving a part out even. It's not just that we saw the cards and then we met her. We were talking about her, or we were talking about, I was telling you to maybe get some cards.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know what the cards were, what oracle cards were. And then we saw them, and they happened to be hers. So it was like this whole big mess of synchronicity.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't even have to open the box, folks. You can just get the deck and look at it, and things will happen.
Yep, pretty much. Just put the intention out there. So
yeah.
But it'll be fun to talk with Alexandra today, because I'd love to learn more about how she uses the cards and how they came into her life. So
absolutely. Yeah, so I did open up the chat room. We've already got some people in there. Feel free to go in, and I can see what you're typing. So if you want to ask a question, I will be happy to relate that to Alexandra. And again, the phone number is 347-308-8788. 8788. We've already got a bunch of people on the line waiting to ask Alexandra a question. So should we introduce her properly?
Yes, go ahead.
Oops, there's me knocking over my desk. All right, well, Alexandra Dennis, she lives in Melbourne, Australia. She's deeply interested in all matters of our spiritual development. And in her book, Cosmic Spirit, Alexandra's first book, she introduces the concept of an invisible wireless light network of which we are all connected to as one. During our earthly incarnations, we may have forgotten how to access and utilize the ancient network, but now we can learn to reestablish our link with love, linked to our spiritual internet and constructed through light, driven by cosmic spirit and infinite resource. That's just a bit about her and her book from the back of it, which you can get on Amazon. So let me bring her on the line. Hi, Alexandra, is this you? Alexandra?
Hello?
Hi, is this not you?
No, it's not. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's just I have got a bunch of Skype numbers here, but we'll come right back.
Hello, hi anyway. Hello. I'm listening.
Hey there.
I'm listening.
Oh, so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we'll bring you back on. Hi, Alexandra.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry about that. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you this morning?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm very, very happy to be talking to you both this morning, Megan and Rachel, and everyone else that is joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're covering the whole world here because Alexandra's in Australia, so it's actually around 7 o'clock in the morning, I think, tomorrow in my world. And here it's the afternoon, so it's kind of fun.
So actually, I'm calling you from the I'm calling from the future.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm so honoured that all of our listeners can be joining us as well, because that's really beautiful for me. I hope everybody understands that. For me, that's really aligned with my vision of the Love and Light Network and how we're all connected. So that is really a beautiful platform here that is indicating that we are all connected, aren't we?
Very much so. So, Alexandra, tell us a little bit about how you started on your journey, if this being on a spiritual type path was something that happened to you when you were very young, or was it something that happened more when you were an adult? Can you tell us a little bit about your path?
Certainly. Well, I was always very intuitive, even as a child, and my mother was actually very, very strongly intuitive as well, and her mother also. So it was, something that I understood, that I thought that was probably just, a natural part of life. And, in growing up, I was actually, Christian Catholic, but at the same time, my mother in my childhood was quite ill. She became quite ill, and she was battling quite serious life-threatening diseases. And she's actually, for me, she's a really strong example of the power of this positive thinking and our relationship to, spirituality was very, very strong and prominent from the outset, because she demonstrated to me in childhood the power of the mind and heart together, and what could be achieved if we, had a really clear vision and worked with nature to enable what sometimes science or the medical profession would struggle with. So and I'm not ruling out, of course, she had treatment and so forth, but that's just one example. And I watched her be very, very strong and prove to us that against all odds that you can use your connection to spirit and coupled with really strong intent for achieving a vision that, for healing and many other things. So in that, she taught me lots of different, traditional, she's actually Italian, so a lot of traditional Italian beliefs about probably the old ways of doing things, and I just took it all on. And so we were really open. She embraced all types of things. I remember, 20, 30 years ago, the house was full of crystals before they were commonly seen everywhere, because she was doing yoga and she was trying meditation and she was trying all sorts of things to help her health at that time. So we were exposed to a whole range of different types of beliefs and open to all sorts of learning about all sorts of things. And so for me it felt really natural. And I always had very strongly intuitive and clairvoyant dreams and visions, and probably, I guess, in more recent years it just started to become very apparent that it was time for me to really learn how this worked, because it was getting to the point where I think as I grew older, as I matured, these gifts became so apparent that I couldn't ignore, my guidance, and I couldn't go against my intuition. And that's a big thing for us in the human experience. As you know, we all struggle with our logical mind says, I don't know about that, or why am I thinking that, or why am I feeling that? So I was really sensitive, also really sensitive to energy, and that was a challenge for me initially in growing up and early life, but I've now understand that is actually my strength, is my sensitivity, and so very, very strongly empathic from the beginning. So I always loved writing as well, so this is two things that have come together beautifully in that they allow me to express. But there were a few things that I needed to do, and I felt that in recent years it was time to really step up my understanding of how this worked, because it became apparent that it was a no-going back process, and I was starting to feel and see and become much more aware with my clairvoyance and clairsentience and other intuitive ways that I was receiving information. And I thought, really, and at times I'd get a little scared, and and I'd think, I really have to understand how this worked, because I could really feel energy around me a lot of the time. So I thought, I really have to understand how to manage this, and really how to really fine-tune this, and basically it was essentially me, and so it was about getting really authentic and understanding and allowing this to come to its fuller potential without all those kind of old-fashioned, ancient, really, beliefs that it's not safe to allow yourself to see or feel or hear or whatever, because, once it was really almost dangerous to express your intuitive gifts, So in that, those things stay with us for a long time, and I actually did a lot of healing work in recent years to dissolve that and let go of those really, really old and generationally inherited patterns, thought patterns that say it isn't cool to allow this through, and you need to adhere to really structured ideas of religion or whatever. And I like to think of myself as spiritual rather than religious, because I think a lot, I respect that everybody's version of God or Source or the Creator or the universe or nature or however they'd like to call it or see it. I respect that everybody's version and everybody's name for God in relationship to God is unique and different. And God is represented so many ways, and through us also. But I tend to find that, for me, spirituality, as opposed to more conventional, structured, strict religious beliefs, allows me to feel freer to be all I can be, and to not sort of be weighed down with some of the heavier aspects of religion, such as, those rules that are imposed on us that say, if you do this, you're bad and you should feel guilty. And, really you only have to be true to yourself. And if you're living in a way that honours who you are and honours others around you, I think, you can sleep at night and it works as a lifestyle. So I decided it was time to write my book and to also explore exactly how these things worked and really understand. And now I'm actually, transitioning even further into feeling that I'm ready to, take it forward and teach others. So not just through my books, but through classes and so forth. I feel like it's almost, I've been gifted such a blessing of healing and as well as healing tools and information to, that and I'm receiving guidance all the time, ongoing. So I feel like now I understand that my role is really to be of service, and I'm really honoured in service to, specifically, I'm working with Archangel Gabriel and, all our angels, but Archangel Gabriel is really special for me because in my speaking and writing and communicating, which is my probably natural talent, I feel I'm sort of lending myself as a channel to translate, or to offer messages through from, a higher source. And they're basically a translation of love, but they can be extended and they can sort of be phrased however the angels are allowing me to share them as I'm guided. So is that helpful? Have I painted the picture that of who I am right now? So I'm taking it forward now, and I'm really honoured to have learned some wonderful lessons with some wonderful, beautiful, co-companions in the light, and we are really honoured and also everybody that's listening, I'm really honoured even to be working and sharing this time and space in this today with all of you, because I believe that we all have something to contribute and we all have something to take from every experience. There's an energy exchange that is always helpful, and we can always come away from an experience feeling lighter. I think that's really a beautiful blessing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I love that you had, your mother helping you as a child, really giving you great ideas and introducing you to concepts and crystals and everything. That's a wonderful story, and great companion to have on this journey, because sometimes it can feel lonely,
It can. Yeah, it can, and that's okay. A lot of people have to sort of appreciate that in growing up. Those kinds of things can be something that might be a little unconventional and a little bit out there, and it might not be, what everyone else's family's doing or the way everyone else is living. But that's okay. It's not, we're not in a schoolyard anymore, are we?
No,
yeah.
Goodness, yeah.
I'm kind of curious to ask you, have you traveled to the United States much, or?
I have been to the United States. I do have family in the United States, and I love my family and loved ones over in Los Angeles and also on the East Coast in Connecticut. I have a lot of family through America. Yes, but
okay.
But as well as that, I did travel to America just more recently in April, and I actually was very blessed to take a spiritual teacher's class with Charles Virtue, Doreen Virtue's son, who's actually teaching the angel classes also. So that was a really unique and wonderful blessing and experience, in that I worked with some amazing angels, amazing spiritual teachers from all around the world that came together. It was a very small group, and that was really great because we were able to really make a strong connection and almost working in a retreat type setting in a sort of very healing, feeling circle type of healing work that we would share. And everybody brought something different. And it was a lovely prototype, if you will, for this forward. So my classes will be very similar to this.
Oh,
so we're actually, So it was. I actually was very blessed to work with Charles in Australia, in the Gold Coast, in the previous year, and I became a certified angel practitioner. And then subsequently, I worked with his mother Doreen in Coolum, which is in the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, in Australia, and she takes an amazing spiritual retreat over a period of days where she teaches the angel intuitive. So I'm a certified angel intuitive also. And then I was, really strongly guided, and circumstances were that I was almost called to duty to the United States for a series. I had a family member quite unwell there, so I felt like my call to angel duty was on lots of levels very strong. So I, stepped up and went over to Los Angeles to work with Charles and our beautiful angels. So that was really amazing. And now forward, I'll be teaching the ACP class which is the Angel Certification Program here in Australia and also overseas in 2015. So I'm really blessed and honoured in that, and really looking forward to teaching the angel classes ahead.
Wow. So, I've noticed here in the U.S., definitely there's a shift going on, kind of an awakening. Just more people that weren't perhaps spiritually inclined are finding their way to this. Do you find that same thing in Australia? I'm just curious on the different cultures, different area of the planet. Do you find there's a big shift going on, or is it still pockets of people?
There are pockets of people sprinkled everywhere, but I think those pockets are really increasing and spreading. And I think what's happening is that, globally, I think it's across the board. Yes, it's happening here in Australia. It's very, very popular here in Australia. And I think as well as that, all across the world, I think we are actually, in alignment with a time here where we are experiencing what I, understand and like to probably define as a global shift in consciousness. And it's happening little. It's happening. Are you still there?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, for a minute I thought we dropped out. Okay. It's happening globally and across the whole world. So people are, I think what it is that we've tried lots of different things, and people are they're always looking for answers, okay? They're always looking for, how, what is this about? People, if whatever they're struggling with, they're looking at self-help books, they're looking at, positive thinking stuff and, seminars and this and that. But I think a lot of people are feeling that, I think this is the best way to define it. If I had to, I would say across the board, people are exploring a lot of different things, but right across the world now, people are getting more in tune with their heart center. So I think what it is that we've had lots of experiences globally that have taught us lots of things about money, and I appreciate that money is a part of the human experience, and it is important, and money is energy, and it is in all practicality is part of life. The bills are not going to just dissolve into thin air. We've all got commitments, okay? But what I think is more prominent now, which is really coming forward, is that people have all experienced in lots of different countries lots of money, no money. Countries have been really strong and, financially, and then countries have been really rocked, and you can appreciate what I'm saying. So I think consistently what has been the constant in all that, and probably even in the more difficult times where countries, I know there are countries in Europe, and I know it's happened in the United States where some countries are, financially in trouble, and have gone through really very testing and difficult times economically. And what that has actually brought about, and I think it's amazing, because I think for that it's demonstrating that in every challenge there's always a blessing, and always a lesson. So even when there's obstacles, there's always something, there's growth, and there's amazing growth when you move through it. So it's like, in my mind, I see that we've learned that those things are one aspect of life, but when people are presented with those kinds of difficulties, and then they have to come together again and actually work together in tighter, more caring, more community-minded groups, more, the saying that there's a saying, it takes a whole village to raise a child, right? That's one example. So what I'm saying is that people would come together when they're actually under pressure and actually come together and understand. It's like people did, okay, we're just going to, not to dwell on something negative, but for example, in wartime, in the past and things like that, people went through all sorts of struggle, and then there was a very strong swing to people really banding together in a humanitarian sense and looking out for one another and understanding that there is much more than just money and material stuff. Yes, it is important, but it is not the be-all and end-all, and people were feeling like their souls were empty. People are feeling like there needs to be a return to fill their spiritual tank, so to speak, and make them, make them feel the meaningful aspects of life. It doesn't matter if you've got, it's great to have, all these amazing things, but that's lonely for a lot of people because they often find that they've got all this amazing stuff in quotation marks, but they're isolated. So what happens is people, I think there's a balance being struck where people are reaching for, definitely in this shift, this is what I think, people are going back to the heart center. It's about stepping out of logic, stepping out of the material a little, and they're actually getting more in tune with their heart and connecting their heart with others. So, and I think that's really beautiful, and then much more of it should be, happening. And I think people are looking for something that gives them that warm and fuzzy feeling. Ultimately, that's what everybody's seeking. People want peace. People want to stay in the vibration of peace and joy. So they're looking to whatever will allow that to grow. And I think also the more that people that are looking for that and wanting to live that way, the more they're actually living that way, the more I feel that, your heart center starts to glow, right? This is a light that I talk about in the Love and Light networks. For example, in my book, I talk about us all being a massive connected network, okay, right across the globe, just as we are now on this phone call. So we're all connected, but not necessarily by technology. That's the model we're using right now. Things are being bounced off the satellite so that we can all be sharing right now at this moment. But geographically, no matter where we are, I'd like to give you the example that we're all using. We're all experiencing different geographical coordinates right now, but because we're sharing this space together right now, this virtual space, which is sort of like, in my mind, in the ether, in a little way, like we're still sitting wherever we're sitting, we're still listening, but while we're anchored here in the earthly experience, we're also all connected. So it's like our spiritual coordinates right at this moment are shared. So even though we're all so I don't know if that's the best way probably to explain it. So I think that's beautiful, and I think that's a really wonderful illustration of how we are all connected and how, it's a connection that is based on lots of light linking us, and there is lots of light, beaming all around the world connecting us also right now, but this is light that is not through your computer or whatever that you're plugged into. This is a light that is actually within the heart center, and it's connecting on a heart-centered level to others. So that light beam is like to you, Megan, and to you, Rachel, and, to one another and everyone else that's listening. And we're connecting this amazing light network, heart to heart. And then from that, we are all connected to this amazing, what I like to call this amazing giant server, the giant heart of hearts in the sky, which is God or Source, all that is. So, and we can refill from that at all the time. So I think that's beautiful. And the stronger we connect, the stronger we can, help one another on this planet, and also keep our tanks really high because we can help each other to refill. So in that, we're glowing, okay? So as we refill, our hearts glow, 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 brighter and brighter, like beacons. And I think, in getting back to what I was saying previously, that enables others like ourselves to find us quicker. It's like we're emitting a signal, and also helps to bring forward what we choose to manifest in our both individual goals and dreams and visions, and as well as that in a shared vision. So answering your question, yes, I think ultimately we all have our individual goals and dreams, and we all have our idea of what life looks like, the ideal state of bliss for all of us, our authenticity, and that's wonderful, and that's on our list of things to do. If you know what I mean, the 1 to 5 list of priorities that really make our hearts sing and really resonate for us. But aside from that and higher than that, I think one of those things that's coming very close to the top of the list, and probably without it being almost at the top of the list, it's like the other things can't even happen. So probably point 1 on the list should be really, for a lot of us, and is becoming, that exactly, we're shifting together. We're committed. This is a team. We're in this together. So it's not just about exploring. One part of it is exploring, the journey into spirituality. If it's not your, original path and it doesn't feel initially like it's, some people, they might explore it. But I think this is more about those who are actually born to, we're all born with the potential, but those of us that are actually sort of incarnate here to be of service, and they sort of arrive at that at some point in their life. It's sort of like a call to duty. They're activated. They know we're the light workers, we're here, we're the earth angels, and this is our job, to carry the light forward as guides and translators, right, helping the others to come through. Yeah, so it's one thing to come together, and that signal will help others, find you, and it will help you manifest and co-create with our angels and those in the realm of spirit that are helping, and God, that's our, huge architect and co-creator. But aside from that, yes, I think there's a massive shift. I think it's beautiful, and I'm proud to be part of it, and I'm proud to be an ambassador in the shift.
That's great. Yeah.
Wonderful.
We've got some callers. Would you like to do an angel reading for one?
I would love to. I would love to do an angel reading.
Great. All right, I'm going to go to that original Skype caller because I'm so sorry before when I picked you up.
That's okay.
Hi,
That's
you're
okay.
on the air.
Don't worry about
We're
it.
old
I
friends
understand.
now.
Isn't that funny? Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I know.
Happy holidays.
Do you have a question for Alexandra?
I do. I am looking for employment. My contract job stopped. It ended the Friday before Thanksgiving. And I want to see if you see one coming. I just got news that I didn't get the one I interviewed for last week today. But do you see one coming?
Okay. Now, first of all, I didn't properly get your name. What's your name?
It's Sharon. Sorry.
Sharon.
I was a Skype caller.
Sharon.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to ask my angels here. And first of all, Sharon, I'm going to say to you that I want to tell you that it's really important for me to share right now and being given straight away that when things like this happen, they can often feel as though, oh, my God, I didn't expect this, now I'm without a job.
I know.
So you probably may already know on some level, and I want to just reinforce for you that my angels are guided to share that right now this is happening because there's something better that you need to be doing shortly forward, okay? So don't worry about that. There is a process at work. And second of all, I'm going to ask you to my angels are saying, consider that you need to stay very relaxed about it. It's natural to worry, but put that aside and pray. Pray for guidance to be sure.
I pray every day. Even when I'm not, I always have. It doesn't, Yeah, so pray every day. Okay, so I've just pulled a card for you. Now, this is from the Healing with the Angels deck, okay, which is Doreen Birch's original deck. And I really like this because initially I thought about, I've just pulled a card for you anyway, but I'll just say originally I thought about perhaps I should go and try and find the Life Purpose deck or something specifically, but I feel that you need healing energy right now. So I'm going to send you, Archangel Raphael's green light, actually, to soothe you in this situation and relax you, because it's really important for me to communicate to you right now that the more that you stay centered and relaxed and trust and be really open, what you need will be handed to you. You've just got to be there. You've just got to be open to seeing it, and don't panic, because the more that you panic, the more it won't find you. Yeah, I've got the abundance. It's that big word, faith. It's that big word, faith.
Faith is massive, and it is a massive leap, isn't it? But we have to trust. And I used to, I'm human. We all think, oh my gosh, but seriously, you have to trust, because it just comes to the point where you can't not trust. It is just so profound that when you do surrender and trust, you open your hand and that key is placed in it, or whatever it is that you're needing, open your hand, because while it's tightly closed in anxiety and stress and you're contracted, it can't reach you, but there's something coming for you. Now, what I want to show you here is the abundance card, and it's lovely because that's very significant. It's saying trust that your needs will be met. And absolutely also there's a lot of green in this card. It's a beautiful card. So actually it's giving you very grounding healing as well. So I'd like you to just take some time for you at the outset. Just take some time to center yourself and just give yourself gentle time to basically hear your guidance that's coming and be very relaxed. Because somebody that you meet is going to... I'm getting very strongly that somebody that you meet is going to offer you an opportunity. And I also am guided to share with you that it may not be something that you ideally think resonates for you at the outset, but be very open to it, because sometimes people are offered a position in an industry or a position that they're not entirely familiar with or haven't worked in before, and they think, I don't think this is the right fit for me. But if it's being presented to you, be open to it, because you could meet somebody through that position that will actually bring you closer to something that really resonates for you. So I like to think of it as a tree.
I understand.
Every branch on that tree, there could be a little leaf right down the end, that if you don't even have a look at that tree, you won't even know that that leaf is there, and that leaf could be like something amazing, right?
Stepping stone,
Yeah. Okay. So also recovery is coming up. I've actually got another deck here, which is and I'm looking at it because this is a relatively new deck, and it's really lovely. It's the Angel Answers deck. Okay, so it's a brand new deck by Doreen, and it's quite a specific deck too. And you draw one card in this deck. Some of the others you can really do, 3-card reading. But in this, I'm being given a card right now, which is saying recovery. So in that, I'm feeling that there's a lot of there's something else aside from this job. This actually might be a blessing also, because I'm feeling that right now you need to take some spiritual time out. So I'm feeling that this job, even though it sounds like an inconvenience, this has happened because it's time. It's allowing you some time to focus on something for yourself, a little spiritual vacation, if you will, and before you move to your next step. So don't panic, because something is coming, and trust that your needs are going to be met, because the abundance card is here. Be open to who reaches out to you. And this recovery card means that this was given to you because you need to take a pause momentarily and regroup your energy before it's like you're preparing, so that when the energy starts to accelerate again and you'll feel the shift in the energy and you'll jump in and catch that flow, if you can identify it and become sensitive to the energy, you'll be ready. So take this period as a little rest preparation period. That's why it's saying to me recovery. Take the little time out in between, because you're about to launch into something new. And once it presents, things will accelerate very quickly. So it's not very far away. And that's what I'm being shown right now. No, that's what I'm being shown right now. But you have to be open. And in the meantime, remember to take that recovery time, that spiritual relaxing time, because when we're in that actual mode of, it's almost like inner child play and just experiencing life for the little things, and just being really serene and happy in the little things, and just being and chilling. I don't know if you know that in Australia, so chilling, relaxing. When you're in that mode, that is when things pop out and jump out. The angels can reach you really, really well. And the angels reach us through. So ask your angels as well about the situation, and then don't worry, just hand it over in trust, and just relax yourself, because when you're in that open mode, that is how the angels can reach you. And they reach you through others. So be mindful that even if you have a meeting with somebody out and about and you think it's insignificant, you can never underestimate, the impact they may have on your life. So that's what I'd like to share with you at the moment.
Great. Well, thank you, Alexandra.
Okay.
Thank
you,
many
Alexandra.
blessings, and good luck with it. I'll pray for you.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Put me on hold.
Okay, thank you, Sharon.
I like her. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I did it again. I'm so sorry, but you were a really great guest, so we appreciate you calling in. And thank you, Alexandra, for that wonderful reading for her. That was great.
I'm honored. So,
great.
So, girls, would you like me to tell you about my book?
Yeah, sure.
Or did you have something else that you wanted to say right then? Go for it.
I was just going to ask if you'd want to take another reading, but you can.
I would love that.
Great.
I would love that.
Okay, so now I'm going to 337-202. You are on the air with Alexandra.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, great. How are you, and what's your name?
My name is Candace. I am from Louisiana. How are you today?
Great. And would you be able to speak up a bit? You're a little low.
I'm sorry. Is it Candace? Candace.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
hi,
Candy.
It's Alexandra. Hi, Candace.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you also. How can we help you today?
I would like to ask about my love life, actually. When do you see a long-term relationship coming my way?
Okay. All right. Let's have a look at those cards here. All right. First of all, I'm getting... Okay. So first of all, I'm seeing, because look, how this works is I'm not supposed to analyze anything I'm getting, okay? So I just deliver. So first I'm going to straight away tell you I'm seeing a European guy, okay? And I don't know what that's about. So there is somebody coming, and they may not necessarily be, an American guy. It could be somebody who lives abroad, or it could be someone else. But that's what I'm being given. So also, I'm going to take a card for you. So are you in a relationship right now, or not?
I have a friend, but we're just friends for now. I really like him. I would love to see where that takes me, But I would love to hear from your point of view of anything, because I'm always open. Like I said, I have a friend, and I really like him.
Okay.
And I know he likes me back, and there is a connection there. It's obviously it is, and so I'm open as well. So,
Okay, that's really lovely. I've just pulled a card here for you, okay, and it's also from the Healing from the Angels, or Healing with the Angels deck, but I call it Healing From because it's actually called With, but I sometimes call it that because it's for me, it's healing from the angels. That's what's being brought through with this deck with us. And so what I'm actually getting here right now is a beautiful card, and it's a soulmate card. So that's amazing. The card itself is beautiful. There's a lot of lavender, and there's a lot of purple in it. There's a lot of beautiful, gentle energy. So that violet lavender energy is really indicative of the soulmate relationship as well. And that is also something that is very representative of the vibration that it will bring when this person and you come together. So it's coming, and the universe is aware, meaning the vibration, that lavender vibration. So if you work with light vibrations in the color spectrum, lavender is like, if you go into the bath, you have put a couple of drops of lavender in the bath, that's really soothing. Yeah. So that's the vibe that comes with this relationship. And lots of green as well, lots of healing with this relationship. There's Archangel Michael as well. It's a very protective relationship. There's blue and green in here, so there's Raphael and Michael energy, and there's lots of lovely lavender as well. So this relationship that you're seeking to attract into your world, it's already in your world. There's somebody coming for you, but this relationship will come, and the universe knows. I don't know whether it's with the person that you're friends with right now, but what you're doing is you're psychologically and on a heart level, mind, body, and soul, you are preparing right now to draw your soulmate relationship in. You're ready. And the universe, I can hear it, and the universe knows it, okay? So start to live your life in a way as if it's already manifest in your world, because you're preparing, you're putting the signal out there, you're setting the table. This sounds really funny, but, you're setting the table as if you're setting the table for dinner for two, right? You're setting up your life. You buy pairs of things. You with me? If you're buying a lamp or something like that, there's a little bit of feng shui that comes into that as well. But there's lots of things that you can do, and you can start to create the environment for this relationship straight up, and it is coming because the signal's going out. It's going beep, 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 like a little beacon glowing, and your matching mate is going to pick that signal up, okay? Even if they don't realize it, they're picking it up in the ether, and the universe will create circumstances for you to come together and actually explore and enjoy this path together. So it's actually coming, and start actually creating your external environment to enable that to be really quickly drawn to you, drawn forward and manifest in your world. Because, our vibration will bring forward like a magnet what we're seeking. So don't worry about it. Just know and trust that it's coming for you. And doesn't really matter who it is. So be really open, just trust. I can't identify specifically that person for you right now, but you'll know it when you see it without a doubt. You'll know something will go, wow, in your heart. And that will be beyond all logic, okay? So trust that when you feel that. And also be really open to creating the environment around you and within you as well, so the way that you'd be feeling when you have this relationship. And then when you set that up, it's like you're setting the stage, and all that has to happen then is, wow, the person steps into the picture. Because in any manifestation, and that's what we're always doing, is drawing forward a vision or drawing forward what we see in our heart and mind. We're drawing it forward. So from a range of all these possibilities, it's there, and we're saying, I want that, okay? And you're starting to attract it. So when you do that, in that, be mindful that the last part of any manifestation is actually stepping into it and owning it. So that applies to us when we want to, create a goal for ourselves, or, whatever we'd like to manifest in our world. And also it comes in when manifesting a partner. The last part is that they go, hi, and they're there, okay? So you put it all together because we think we're ready, and sometimes we're not totally ready. And the person could actually appear, and then that could really, think, oh, my God, I thought I wanted this, but now I'm scared, or this or that, or I don't know if I'm ready. You might think you're ready, but dynamics can change when it's presented. So make sure you work through releasing whatever it is also that you don't need to bring with you into this new relationship that's coming for you. And yes, it's coming. And I also have another card which is from the other deck here, the Angel Answers, and it's peaceful resolution. So your heart's desire is coming. What you're seeking and what you're dreaming of and wishing for is coming. And be open to it, because God knows us better than we know ourselves, and our angels will find a way for our perfect mate to reach us. So don't ever doubt. There is absolutely no barrier stronger than the power of love. And angels can reach us across all distance, time and space, and reach right into the heart of the matter. So it could be anyone you meet. Remain really, really open, and don't have this preconceived idea about what you like. You can have qualities in your mind, but be really open to what God wants to bring you, because something really beautiful is coming for you, and a soulmate is waiting and coming closer every moment. So just trust that and get ready.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This person, I hope that helps. This person that you like could be, and what I'm suggesting is that you just behave in a way that indicates that you're ready for it. And if they are it, they'll slot in. And if they're not, and it's nobody's fault, because people are resonating, and they're all in their own little spots wherever they are in their path and working through their stuff. In divine timing, when they're ready, if he's the person, he'll get with the program. And if he's not, you just keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to bring that person. So trust that, because it's happening. The card is here. Soulmate is here. It's coming.
Wow.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
We were just talking about that. We were just talking about that yesterday, me and him, and it just amazed me how open he was about that. Like, I was asking him, was he familiar with that, with twin flames and soulmates, and he was like, he never really heard of it, but then when he looked it up, he was like, that's something, wow, I've never even heard it like that. But he said, I'm definitely open to something like that. So,
well, he could really be the guy then. He could possibly be the guy. I don't know if this is the same guy that I was shown, but he could possibly be the guy if he already knows and you're showing him that this is what I'm into, this is what I want, and he's open to it. Yeah, communicate, and truth and communicating from the heart is the only way. You never really lose, ever, if you communicate openly, honestly from the heart in a relaxed way. So there's no rush. This happens at your own pace. There's no rush.
Yeah.
It's not a race. Just allow it to be, and if it is meant, just trust it will come together with this person. So, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, caller, and thank you, Alexandra. That was great.
Thank you. You're
and
very
yes,
welcome.
We would love to hear about your book.
Okay, so I wasn't sure how much time we have, so that's why I will just allow you ladies to steer this. This is lovely. So, and what I'd like to talk about then is my first book, which is Cosmic Spirit. So this book is something that I wrote because as a young girl and growing up, I wanted to write and I wanted to help people, and it was something that I'd worked on for some time, and I had these concepts that I wanted to bring forward with lots of examples of experiences I had in life and ways that I pushed through and sort of let go of things that were holding me back. So I just thought a little light-hearted guide to basically demonstrate some of these concepts to people, and also to introduce, that it might help others to heal also going forward. It's always healing when I write, and I write with the objective of healing and taking the healing forward. So as well as that, it introduces the concept of this love and light network where we're all connected, and that, it encompasses all distance, time and space. So, I believe that in the realm of our angels and spirit, there's no there is no limitation, not these earthly boundaries that we entertain here. But as well as that, so in the network, that is something that surpasses all of that across the universe. And that's how we are all joined with others within the network that are here on Earth, for example, anyone else who's listening right here, right with us. And as well as that, who also joins in this network and is joined by this light are our angels and our loved ones in spirit who've passed over, and all of those in spirit who act as our guides. We're connected across all vibrational points. So I really love that, and I emphasize in this book that this connection is really important because it's actually something that we are all part of, but we may have forgotten. So it's actually about a reconnection for all of us. And in doing so, we can remain really open to the positivity around us, and we can also enable greater healing on an ongoing basis within our lives, because healing is a non-stop thing. It's a work in progress, and we're always being presented with something different. So we're always shedding layers, and we're always moving forward. So, and we can do that together with one another, ideally, if we remain connected and know that we're not alone in this. And even when it seems or might feel as though we are, we're never alone, and there's always an angel right beside us. So I'm trusting in that. And everything passes. So I also talk about the cyclic nature of things a little in this book. I talk about the seasons and so forth, our emotions and different things, demonstrating that things can pass. So very quickly things can change. So we need to always remember that and, look forward to, the next morning, things can always look different. So for people that are struggling with anything, and it also encourages a little shift in perspective in that we can sort of see from a higher perspective. And so in that sometimes it brings us back into the vibration of gratitude when we see things. Sometimes the bigger picture, when we're too close to things, what it does is that basically, how I would put it, is that we're just so close to it we can't see it. So when we step aside or step back, sometimes we see our perceived earthly problems can be really, really, really little, and the way we feel about things changes. So then, things can shift really quickly. So in this book, it explores lots of lovely concepts about crystals and angels and healing and color vibrations, and a little bit of an introduction to all types of spiritual concepts, but it really introduces the network. And after I wrote this book, I then went on to do a lot of spiritual development work, and I love this book. But what I'm what I'm finding is that I'm so honoured is that having explored in between this book and the new book that I'm working on, which is called Lightspeed, and that will be out shortly at the beginning of 2015. So my first book is called Cosmic Spirit, The Power That Drives the Software of Humanity. And the reason I chose that title is because I do have an information technology background as well, and I do like the platform that's demonstrated that sort of that we work like a computer. So our minds work like a computer. That's how affirmation can be powerful and so forth. We're drawing up a file. And as well as that, we're connected, our computer, if you will, is connected to all these other computers. That's everybody else. And then that's connected to a larger network, which is the whole universe, but it is an organic system. So this is not just, a computer. It works similar to, our minds work similar to a computer, but this is an organic system, right? So we respect the cycles of nature. Everything is a process of growth and transformation all the time, The sun, the moon, one rises, the other comes up, they take over for each other. All of that, the seasons shift, everything shifts. So it's about respecting and acknowledging the natural and organic aspects of this network and that is linked by light. And so in the new book, Lightspeed, now I'm so happy to bring forward that concept and expand on it. So there'll be lots of lovely information and lessons in there about how connecting to this network can help us, in the life experience on so many levels, and what it can do and what it can enable, deeper healing and growth, and similar to what we were talking about earlier, working together for a common purpose and a shared vision of the way the world can be together, a really beautiful and peaceful and heavenly place here on earth. So that's ideal. And this new book is quite different because I've channeled it. So I wrote it very differently from Cosmic Spirit. The new book is coming through channeled, which is amazing, because I did channel the first book and I didn't really realize how this was happening, and that's why I knew that I had to, and I was very grateful to learn more about channeling and specifically automatic writing. And I work with Archangel Gabriel to allow what needs to come through in my writing as well as my speaking. So that's almost coming together like a blanket. I like to think of it as it's coming through in bits and pieces as it's given, channeled, and it's not chronological. So it's quite different in that I've not written, and the second book feels very different the way I'm writing it, because as it's coming through and I think, okay, it's coming through, I'm in the mode and I open and I allow and I write, and then, okay, and then I'm not quite sure where that will go. So I just am taking dictation from the angels. So as it's all completed now, the last part is like a jigsaw puzzle, learning how to put it together in what sort of chronological flow. And
that's terrific. Wow. So
and it's just
you.
like
unfortunately, we're about out of time. But
okay.
That's awesome about the second book. So we're looking forward to seeing that. I know your first book is available on Amazon, so people can just search for Cosmic Spirit, and they'll find it there. Well, great.
So I would love for people to come to my website, which is www.alexandradennis.com, and there is a list of retailers on my website, and people can also contact me through clicking on the contact link. So if anyone has any questions, please reach out. And if you'd like to know anything about my book, Cosmic Spirit, and where to get it, it is available globally. And my upcoming classes, please shoot me an email. That would be lovely.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Alexandra, for all your time and for your readings for some of our callers today. I'm sure we had many that we didn't even get to, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really great, and I hope everybody gets your book.
That's beautiful. Thank you for having me, Megan and Rachel. I'm so honored to share with you today, and I really hope that perhaps something that I've said today may make someone feel a little lighter, and that we're all aware that our angels are with us always. So may our angels hold us all here, within their big protective wings, and give us lots of love and blessings forward.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. Enjoy your day. It's just beginning, so.
Awesome. So that was a great guest. Thank you for all the people who listened and called in. We're very grateful for you, too. And in the chat, I've got great conversations with people in the chat these days.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could see that. I wish we could both be logged in.
I know. We should switch off somehow. That would be fun.
Yeah, that's great. So, well, just to remind people that we're part of the ENlightenment Evolution here on Blog Talk Radio, and you can also find archive shows on iTunes for us. And just to remind people that we do have other shows as part of our network with some other hosts. Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the ENlightenment Evolution Hour with Rob Gauthier. And you can find more about that show at trebchanneling.com.
And Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific is Philip Malika's Consciousness Evolution Hour, where he talks about metaphysics from the perspective of the fifth dimension. Very cool stuff.
And Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel, and she explores our soul's expansion through our human experiences on Earth.
And Victoria Vive Swang's show Earth Sky People is at a new day and time. It's now Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it is your bridge between heaven and earth.
And then we've got our late night show, which airs midnight on the East Coast and 9 p.m. Pacific, and it's called Disclosure Now with the Pied Piper and Texas Rebel, and it's all about conspiracy theories and UFOs and government cover-ups, so it's a fun one.
And Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, we have The Resonance Intention, hosted by Soul and Neil Gar, and a new show. Check it out.
Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have About Oneness with Karen Newman, and she focuses on the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet.
And Mondays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific is Heart to Heart Talk Radio with Daniel Scranton, now being aired from Hawaii.
Oh, I know.
So wonderful.
Envious, yes.
Mhm.
From the dome in Hawaii.
Yeah, from the dome.
So awesome. Yeah. Well, it was nice to chat with you today, Rachel, and we will be back next week with a new show.
Yes, we will. We have an exciting show next week. Why don't you talk about that, Megan?
Yeah, we have psychic medium Lisa Jones, who's local to my area here in Connecticut, and she has just an amazing story. She went through a difficult illness with her husband, and a lot of transformation happened during that time for her, and her husband